Hey guys, it's me, Kaylin, and today I'm going to be doing my April book haul. In the month of April, I accumulated a lot of books, about 20 I think it was, and that's a lot. 20 is a big number. I think that is the biggest book haul in 1 month that I've ever gotten, but at the same time, I haven't really been keeping track of it until April, so who really knows? Not me. Let's start talking about the books. So the first two books I have here are my first two Book of the Month books, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid and Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I have read Daisy Jones and the Six. I rated it 5 stars. I talked about it in my April wrap-up, so if you want to hear me talk about that, go watch that video. This book, in case you haven't heard, is a book about a band, and it's basically a biography of Daisy Jones and the Six and how they became famous and their fall from fame. And Little Fires Everywhere, I have not read yet. I started it. I read the first chapter. I don't really know what this is about, so there's that. The reason I picked this book is because I heard everybody talking about it and everyone rating it 5 stars, and I tend to have ratings similar to other people, so I thought I'll probably rate it 5 stars. If we're being honest, I'll probably like it, so that's why I picked this one up. So for these books, if I don't know what it's about and I haven't read them yet, I'm probably just going to tell you why I got them, because I don't really have anything else to say about the book besides being like, I got this book. So the next 4 books that I have here, I got from Thrift Books, and I had never heard of Thrift Books before. I watched someone's video. I can't remember whose it was off the top of my head, but I saw that they had Harry Potter books, specifically Harry Potter hardcover books. I already had all of the 1 through 7 Harry Potter books, but they don't all match. I had some in paperback, some in hardback, and I just think it would look, I thought it was going to look nicer if they matched. So I picked up the 4th Harry Potter in hardback, the 5th Harry Potter in hardback, and the 6th Harry Potter in hardback. And then on top of that, I also picked up the Cursed Child, which I have read this one. We all know it wasn't as good, but I thought it would look nice with the rest of the hardback collection, and it's basically in brand new condition, and it was like, all of these were like $3, so you can't really go wrong with like $3 or $4 for a hardback and for Harry Potter. So the next 4 books I have here were all gifts from my boyfriend's mom, so thank you, my boyfriend's mom, for giving them to me. The first one I have here is Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I have the second book of this, which is called Son of a Witch, but I didn't have the first one. Yeah, I haven't seen the play / musical, but I do like this little like flap. I'm pretty sure she got this like secondhand because it's very beat up, but that's okay. It's still readable, and the words, there's a lot of words on one page, so that's a little stressful, but it's fine. Moving on, she also gifted me the entire Fifth Wave trilogy. And I don't know much about this besides that there's aliens and swearing, which is why she gave them to me, because she originally bought them for her class, because she's a teacher. But you can't really have 5th graders reading about swear words. So we have the Fifth Wave, which is the first book, the Infinite Sea, which is the second book, and the Last Star, which is the last book. Moving on, I got 5 books from Goodwill this month. The first one being The Stars Were Right by K.M. Alexander. I bought this book because the when I saw the spine for some reason at Goodwill, I just kind of felt drawn in, and I'm really into like the stars, moon, zodiac signs, crystals, stuff like that. So when I saw like a book that said the stars, I was like, my witchy senses were tingling, let's just say. And I have read this book, if I didn't already say that. I read this in April as well. I talked about it in my wrap-up, so if you want to hear more about that, head over to that video. And one thing about this book I don't think I mentioned in my wrap-up that I will just include here. The entire time I was reading this, I felt like it was reading like a first book in a series. I kept thinking to myself, like, the wording of this just seems like there's going to be another one. Like, something just didn't feel right. But when I had read the Goodreads page about this in Goodwill, I could have sworn that it said it was like a standalone. So I'm reading this book, I get like halfway through, and I'm like, this really sounds like a first book in a series. And then I check, the front page literally says, The Belle Foraging Cycle Book 1. So that makes a lot of sense. Overall, I would recommend this book. I would give it like 4 stars. I think that's what I gave it in my wrap-up. I can't quite remember. I did enjoy the mystery in this book because it is like a mystery thriller-esque type book. Leaning more mystery than thriller, I would say, but still. So there's that one. The next book I picked up at Goodwill is The Princess Diarist, I think that's how you would say that word, by Carrie Fisher. I have only seen I've seen 3 of the Star Wars movies. I've seen number 3, number 4, and number 7, I believe. So a little all over the place. But I do like nonfiction and biographies and stuff like that. And this book was already on my Goodreads to TBR. Another reason I picked this book up is because it actually has some pictures in it. And I'm pretty sure this book is like a diary that Carrie Fisher found when she was working on the Star Wars set. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Overall, I bought this book because, as I said, I'm really into nonfiction and biographies, but I'm also hoping to like be able to understand Carrie Fisher as an actress, and hopefully I don't have to super know a ton about Star Wars, because that's going to be disappointing to me a little bit. But maybe once I watch the movies, I'll have an appreciation for this. Maybe I'll watch all the movies before I read this. Who knows? Who's to see? So the next and last 3 books that I picked up at Goodwill in the month of April are all children/middle grade books. The first one is actually an advanced reader copy, which kind of drew me in. And that is Arlo Finch, In the Valley of the Fire by John August. This, I checked, is a middle grade book that came out February 2018. I did also read the first chapter of this book, and I wasn't super drawn in with the first chapter. I do want to continue it because I think the book is very pretty, which is why I bought it, because I saw that it was an art copy. I pulled it out and I saw the cover and I was like, for only 50 cents, I'm gonna get this book. And even if I don't like it, I can give it to either my brothers or my boyfriend's mom is a teacher for 5th graders, so I'm sure they would also enjoy this book if I don't like it. Yeah. The next book that I got is Hoot. Oh geez. Hoot by Carl Hiaasen. Anyway, I know a lot of people had to read this in like elementary school. I never did. But the reason that I picked this up was, first of all, because I recognized it. And second of all, when I opened it, it is annotated and dog-eared and has some sticky notes in it. which I thought that was pretty interesting. And this was also only like 50 cents. So I was thinking to myself, it's a children's book. I would get through it pretty quickly. And it's annotated, so I could see what the person who like read this before me was thinking while they were reading it. And I think that's super exciting. I'm hoping that this person, when they annotated it, it was their first read through, so there's not like spoilers, because that would be kind of sucky. Yeah. The last book I picked up at Goodwill, I picked up because of my favorite booktuber, Kayla, and it is Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. It's in practically brand new condition. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, I spoke too soon. To Alice from Granddad. Moving on, don't really know what this book is about. I just know it's short, it's a children's book, and it's one of Kayla's favorite books. BookTube made me buy it. So, the last 5 books that I have here, I bought at Half Price Books, and I had never heard of Half Price Books either. I didn't know there was one near me. And I checked it out on a whim, and some of the best $30 spent. 30-ish rounding. The first book that I picked up, I actually lent out to my boyfriend's mom, who's coming up a lot in this video for some reason, so shout out to her, I guess. But it is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling, the original screenplay. I also read this in April and talked about it in my wrap-up, so if you want to hear more about that, head over to that video. Moving on, I just noticed that this has been in the video the entire time. Sorry about that. Anyway, the next book that I picked up is Hollow City, Miss Peregrine's book number 2 by Ransom Riggs. And I already had this book. I had it in hardcover, but my first Miss Peregrine's book is in paperback, and so I really wanted them to match. And when I saw that this book was only like $2 in the clearance section, couldn't resist. Haven't read it yet though, so. The next book that I got, I haven't read yet, but it is related to my childhood, and it is the Runaway Dolls by Anne M. Martin and a couple other people. When I was a child, there's these books called The Doll People, and then there's a second book called The Meanest Doll in the World, and then I found out there's third book, The Runaway Dolls. And this one was also only like $3, so I was like, I'm gonna pick that up and read it, because why the heck not? And I'm noticing there are a lot of children's books in this stack. That's fine by me. I don't care. Yeah, I'm hoping I can move on to this quickly. And also, the words are pretty big. There's not a lot of words on each page. So I'm sure when I do pick this up, I'll just fly through it quickly. The next book that I got was also in the clearance section at Half Price Books, and it is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have had this on my Goodreads for a really long time. I don't really know what it's about, except for because I read the first chapter of this book too. Not for like the first chapter tag or anything. I literally just picked up one book, read the first chapter. I was like, not really feeling this. Moved on to another book, read the first chapter, wasn't really feeling it. I think I was just in an audiobook. I think I just really wanted to read an audiobook when I tried reading these 3 books, and that's why I couldn't really get into them. But hopefully I can get back into them quickly. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this book is about people who have like special powers or something, and then the FBI finds them and wants to use them for crime solving. I could be wrong because I saved this so long ago, but I saw it and I recognized it, and it was only like $3, so I was like, snatched. The last book in this book haul is Wild Beauty by Anne-Marie McLemore. And this book, when I was at the store, I was walking around and I was like thinking to myself, okay, one more book and then we're gonna leave, you know, one more book. Because then it would make it like an even $30-ish and we could move on with our lives. And I wasn't sure which one I wanted to get, and I saw this one. It was the only one out there on the top shelf, and I was like, I think I'm gonna get that. And then I opened it up and I saw that it has a signed book plate, and I was like, it's done. We're getting it for like $11. I don't know what this is about. I know it's also one of Kayla's favorite books. She rated it 5 stars, just like she's rated all Anne-Marie McLemore's books 5 stars, I'm pretty sure. Haven't read any of her books, but I'm hoping that I can move on to this one quickly, just like the rest of the books in this stack. That wraps up my April book haul. As you can see, I did have a lot of books. Let me know which ones you think I should read first, which ones are worth picking up first, besides the ones that I've already picked up, like Daisy Jones, obviously. I know it was good. You don't have to re-recommend it. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else, like if you guys have any video ideas for me. Also, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let a girl know. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.